You talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So the report out of Chicago today is this. The Bears are keeping Justin Fields' expectations modest in 2022. And obviously, this is something that we've been talking about a lot right here on Keek on the Mic, but obviously there's no question that there are a lot of expectations for Justin Fields going into year two. Obviously, Bears fans, including myself and national media, are hoping for a huge leap from Justin Fields. But according to a source close to the situation, the general feeling is that expectations for Fields will remain measured this season, and polls and Eberflus aren't banking on him taking a huge leap this season. And I know a lot of people watching this podcast right now are probably scratching their heads like, what do they mean by that? Why aren't polls and Eberflus hoping that Justin Fields takes a huge leap? And the reason they are saying this is because the current conditions Justin Fields will be under this season. For example, it's going to be Justin Fields' first year under a new offense under Luke Getsy. Uncertain blocking, and unproven playmakers around him. So what polls and Eberflus want to see from Fields in the coming months is just progress. They want to see him take steps forward as a professional, and what they mean by that is they want to see him operate better in the pocket, make quicker decisions, and protect the football and himself. And I think this is what we kind of have to get used to, right? Obviously, Ryan Poles and Eberflus knew what they were coming into. We are rebuilding, right? And obviously, Justin Fields is the centerpiece of that rebuild. And something that I want you guys to realize here, the people that may be kind of confused of what Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus are meaning by they don't expect Justin Fields to take a huge leap. What they are basically saying is they don't need Justin Fields to be Superman, right? They just want him to continue to progress to hopefully get him to be that Superman for the Chicago Bears football team. But as soon as this year, they don't need him to be Superman. They just want him to continue to progress, to continue to be a professional, to continue to work on the things that he needs to work on. And to me, it makes a lot of sense. When you look at the Chicago Bears football team, there's not a lot of expectations. Like I mentioned in past podcasts, a lot of people are saying this is just a 3-win football team. So if the Chicago Bears don't have a lot of expectations as a team, why should we put a lot of expectations in Justin Fields? Yes, I understand. He was a first-round pick. We traded up to get him, right? But we do have to understand that this new regimen did not draft Justin Fields. So they're just trying to be patient. They're trying to build up Justin Fields, right? Make sure he's comfortable, right? And we have to keep in consideration, right, that once again, he's in a first year in a new offense, right? He's uncertain blocking and unproven playmakers around him. When you look outside of Darnell Mooney, it's very, very uncertain. So I kind of understand where they are coming from when they're saying they don't expect to see Fields take a huge leap because they're just trying to be patient with him, right? So when you really look at it, it does make a little bit of sense. But by no means, when you really look at it, if Fields can't do the things that I just mentioned earlier about making quicker decisions, right, protecting himself, limit the turnovers that we saw last year in his rookie year, the Bears could have a valid reason to be a little worried. Because at this point, yes, even though they don't expect him to take that huge leap, right? There's no expectations for that on their end. They still want to see him progress, right? They still want to see him develop. And obviously, it's going to be up to them to help him out as much as possible. But if he's not trending upwards, like I just mentioned, this regimen did not draft Justin Fields. So if he doesn't progress, if he doesn't develop, then they could have a situation where they could be worried, and then maybe they are in a couple years looking for a new quarterback. And obviously, when you look at last season, Justin Fields was mismanaged. We all know that. Matt Nagy did a terrible job developing Justin Fields. And obviously, Justin Fields is also inexperienced because he was a rookie quarterback, basically with no help from his coaching staff, no help from his offensive playmakers, right? So he's basically all alone last year. Now, when you look at it, both of those problems have been addressed. Obviously, he has now 12 games of experience, even though those 12 games were basically under a system that wasn't catered to his skills. And then you also look at the fact that he now has a new offensive coordinator in Luke Getsy that will cater to his strengths. So, obviously, Poles and Eberflus know that know that what is around Fields isn't the ideal situation. This is what they inherited, right? Obviously, this is a rebuilding team. They're trying to build from scratch. Obviously, Justin Fields is the centerpiece of that rebuild, but they understand that Justin Fields shouldn't have high expectations because what is around him. But they truly feel that just by adding new coaches that will cater to Justin Fields' strengths, and not only catering to Justin Fields' strengths, but help develop all the players on the Chicago Bears football team, they feel that should be enough to help a young quarterback at least take a step forward. And once again, I'm going to keep repeating this until I'm blue in the face. They don't expect them to take that huge leap. There's not a lot of expectations on their end, but they still want to see him take a step forward. And as long as he's taking that step forward, that's all they care about. If he's taking steps back, like if he comes in this season and he's taking a step back, he's still fumbling the football, turn over the football, still his decision-making still really, really bad, and he's taking a step back, then I think as Bears fans, we should maybe be just a tad bit concerned. But overall, as the Chicago Bears continue to build around Justin Fields, he needs to basically continuously show them that he is progressing and always taking that step forward. Once again, it's all about taking that tiny step forward, and as he continues to progress, he will continue to get better. And overall, as long as he can do that and he keeps up his work ethic and continues to grind, I am confident that Justin Fields will be all right. Obviously, I'm a huge Justin Fields fan. I know there may be some people that are still kind of like, I'm still on the fence about Justin Fields. But me as a Bears fan, I'm confident that Justin Fields will continue to take those steps and progress. I truly feel that he still will take that huge leap forward just because Luke Getsy is going to put him in better situations. But that is just my personal opinion. So before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. What are your expectations for Justin Fields this season? After hearing basically what Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus had to say about not really having a lot of expectations for Justin Fields going into the season, what are your expectations for Justin Fields as we approach this new Chicago Bears season? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for all new Bears podcast right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.